All right, what's up, Kevin?
What up?
Hey, it is August 31st, 2022, man. Yeah, so I guess we were kind of talking about people being a little nervous about their spending habits. I got an email today from our electrical company saying our rates are going to go up by like 12%.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a nice little shot.
Yeah, I don't know if you're with AES.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, city of Indianapolis. Yeah,
yeah, formerly IPL.
yeah.
I didn't know if you guys had someone different out there where you are because I know you're kind
No,
of in a weird little area that may or may not fall under that jurisdiction. But yeah, so I was just like, okay, I guess we'll just see because they quoted it average of 12%
right,
is what they're saying. So it's like, so it could be 5%, it could be 20%. You know what I mean?
right,
Like you're not
right.
really giving me any information until I see my bill and then flip out on you.
Now, do you have like an electric furnace?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. See, we still have gas on that, so I mean, I would be worried about going from air conditioning to like never having the relief because at least you have the relief when you have like gas, right? But yeah, if you're
Yeah, but
gonna
even
just get
gas they're saying is gonna be, you're gonna get
probably
slapped
tax up,
around
yeah,
on. Yeah. Um,
it's never in it.
yeah, because gas is starting to become, that way too, even natural gas.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, thankfully we're not hurting a whole lot, but I feel bad for people that might be, because now it's like because there are people out there who can't pay their bill now. You know what I mean? There are people
Right.
out there who
Struggling
have
now.
to yeah, who have to make that decision. Do I pay for my heat this month or do I pay for my food? Or do
Or
I
my
pay for
lights.
my medication? Or, do I pay my kids' textbooks? You know, I don't know, man, but it seems like it's a worldwide issue though, it's just I don't know. I don't know what's going on necessarily. I mean, other than, the Russian conflict and maybe it's remnants of COVID-19 and, you know,
Catching up.
catching up, with a lot of the factories and workers and stuff being, shut down. Um,
And not having enough workers
yeah,
can impact as well. I just feel like everybody's in that mode of I don't want to spend money because I don't know what's the future is because everything I listen to is predicting a recession or something like that. But it's like when does it hit, right?
I feel like they've been saying that for years, though. It's hard to take seriously, isn't it? Like they keep like every single time I turn on something, it's somebody predicting another recession.
Right.
Like it has been that way. It's been that way for even when Trump was in office.
Yeah.
But I think it's also has to do with the fact that the stock market rose so much, between when Obama was in his last couple years and when Trump was in. I think people were nervous that it's going to come crashing down because they felt like it was fake, like the amount that it was going up. It wasn't the
Right.
true value of the market, and
Right.
now there might be some correction going on.
Right.
I'm not smart enough to know for sure, if that's the case, but it's just everything I had read and seen and hearing that that might have something to do with it as well. Maybe it's just a perfect storm of things.
Right.
Um, yeah, but anyways, I got that email today and I was like, what the hell? So
I don't want to pay more.
I won't pay
I'm over here
12%
trying to
more.
delete stuff.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm trying to pay
we,
down debt. Like,
I mean, like I would say for my situation, at least we're fortunate enough to take that blow, and we end up adjusting something else. Ultimately, trying to get smarter than shifting your money, but I just like you said, I feel sorry for the people that it's a burden. Like I can't pay now. Like what do you want me to do? I'm gonna pay him if I like, right? Like I feel
yeah.
like I feel like at a certain point though, like essentials, like when can there be a cap on essentials that you need? Like you need heat, like you need you need electricity. Like is there something or Like, are we just gonna try to make money off of everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think there comes a time when you have to ask your government or each other, like, when is something like that when
Enough.
do we talk about that just being a basic right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when do I have the right to have a warm house?
Right.
Or when do I have the right to water? Like, you know, what's
Right.
going
That's what I'm
on in
saying. Like,
Jackson,
water is
Mississippi.
free. Like, you need water to live.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like what's happening with Jackson, Mississippi, where they have, you know, the water issue there now, when they're saying they might be without water at it indefinitely. And so now you got all these companies, Nestle and all them making money off of water. And it's like, shouldn't I mean,
Yeah.
isn't like
Isn't
the
water free?
it shouldn't water be free? Like, isn't it like an
Right.
extremely abundant resource? Like, why? Like, I understand you have to pay for it to get somewhere to your house. Like, I understand, you know, the mechanical behind that. Like, you're paying for the mechanics of it, but you know, it's just I think it's just pretty pathetic.
Right.
You know, people just can't have rights. You know, they just can't have things. Like, they just can't have things that they need to live off of.
Right. Somebody said,
Everything's got to have a cost. Somebody somewhere's
yeah.
got to have their hand held out. And you know, and the thing is like I'm not saying free, but I am saying like, can we at least have some sort of a structure in place to reassure that you're not making billions of dollars off of this thing that should basically almost be a human decency right?
Right.
You know, whether it be water or heat or, you know, AC, you know, depending upon where you live, gas, you know. So
Healthcare.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
healthcare. Yeah,
yeah.
you're
Check it
exactly
What's
out.
right.
up, boys?
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up?
what's up, man? I was trying to
And
make sure you were ready.
so,
I'm good.
so
Yeah, I'm good.
Blake, Rich
What are we
started
talking about?
in on basically AES's utility company. They sent out to residents of Indianapolis. I don't know if you're in the same thing because you're south, but that you're gonna get a 10 to what 12%
Said
increase
12% on average increase.
on your utility bill, right? And
Dude, I don't you know, this is my favorite topic to complain about.
Well, man, yeah,
Re-
of course it is. We love to complain about utilities.
yeah, I mean, it just in general, right? Like it's just the same old topic. It's like everything goes up, but our pay raises. I mean, you know, for the majority of us, and it's just
Yeah.
I literally was talking to my neighbors the other day about this. Like, I don't know how people aren't losing their minds, or you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but no wonder suicide rates so high. Like, there's this hopelessness, you know, I feel like that's kind of in the
yeah,
air right now. And you know, you know, I don't know when that changes.
yeah,
You know?
can't win, can't break even, and can't get out of the game, right?
Yeah. I think I told you guys about my air conditioning unit the other day. How
No.
so basically the capacitor went out on it. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, bet I'll at least that's, you know, I called a guy that I know that works on air conditioning. He goes, you know, more than likely that's probably what it is. I was like, all right, cool. I'll look on YouTube, try to figure it out. I see that it's a very simple fix. It's like a $20 part. I'm like, sweet. Amazon.com, 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Amazon is everything's the next day. Well, for some reason, this part is 1 to 2 weeks, right? So then Home Depot, Menards, all of those places, same thing. We have to order it online. It'll probably be 1 to 2. I think they said like 2 to 3 days. But
Mhm.
you know, when you're got no air conditioner going on, and this was last month or whenever it was, right? So anyways, so you know, I'm at work trying to find this part. Nika's at home sweating her butt off with all these daycare kids, you know. And long story short, she ended up having to call somebody to come out, and it was like a $245 bill.
Mhm.
And I was just like,
Yep.
this is why no one can afford anything. Like
It's like,
I get it. Like, it's no different than if I did that as a living. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to charge you a couple $100 to come out and fix it. And part of me gets that, right? It's like, I came home, it was done. My wife's happy, my kids happy. That's fine. But it's like, it was a $20 part, you know? And I guess it's just you know, the price of everything has gotten so high that it's like anytime someone's talking to you or giving you a quote on something, I just feel like I'm getting screwed.
it's gonna be $500.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
five
You know?
hundred
interesting.
dollars just for them to come out
That
on an emergency. Yeah, I just start ultimately
yeah.
calculating like that sounds like
Yeah.
$500. That sounds like $500.
everything's $500.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm sorry, like, even if you do make great money, very few people just be like, oh, $500, cool, I got that. I mean, if you make good money, you very well could and should, right? But then again, a lot of times when you make good money, you got a boat you got to pay for too. So
Everything's $500 stick on that bad boy.
yeah, exactly. Or a pool, or
Definitely. But
college funds, or
like I started the conversation with Richard, like, when do essentials just get capped? Like, I need
yeah,
this to survive. If one of your kids had an issue and they had to be in temp controlled, right? Like, you need
yeah,
that to survive. And like, regardless of if it can get fixed today or tomorrow, like, I need it now. I'm out for
right,
now money, right? I gotta
right,
pay
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's either throw it on a charge card, or have the money. I mean, we were fortunate to have the money, but still, it's like that money can go to 1,500 other things. It's like,
Mhm.
just let me YouTube how to fix it and pick up the part at my local hardware store. Like, I feel like we used to always be able to, like that. I think that's where I got frustrated in that situation, because it's like, it's a simple part that nobody carries, so therefore you almost have to call an expert. And then because you're calling an expert, that's automatically I think in this situation, it was $85 just for them to come out and
Yeah,
look at
just
it,
come out. Yeah.
and
Yep.
then $135 an hour to fix it,
Yeah.
and it's like, come on,
And
man.
I mean,
And
'tis the season. It's been a hot summer.
yeah,
They probably bought all these parts.
Probably you
It's
don't
like,
have the part is
yeah,
because of the heat waves and
yeah,
everybody's AC's breaking down.
right.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it all ends up connected, one way, shape, or form, I guess. But I don't know. It's frustrating. So, Richard, you actually kind of brought this up last week, but it was a little bit, I think it was kind of like on our pre-show, about the student loans being waived.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to kind of summarize everything that happened there. I didn't follow it too much.
Yeah. So basically, during his election campaign, Biden basically made a promise that, hey, I will do something to try to alleviate student loans. And like one of the numbers he threw out was like $10,000. It was like, we'll see if we can get, something taken off
Right.
because of the high interest, and just there's horror stories out there. I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
mentioned to you guys, there was one I read, some lady said she got out of school, had paid $45,000 in loans, and was paying her loans religiously, and 15 years later owed $48,000.
Dude.
And she was like, I don't know how that happened. Like, I paid every month, like, on time,
Yeah.
and it's it's a real issue. So I guess, that's kind of, so it was recognized as a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of his campaign promises was, hey, we'll pay the 10, and we'll try to see what we can do. So throughout his whole presidency, Biden has looked at loan forgiveness in terms of people that went to schools that basically knowingly, fucked people over.
Mm-hmm.
Schools that were closed. Like, I think one of them was like ITT. You remember that school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened to
Um,
my best friend, and he was out. I think it was like $15,000.
Yeah, and I think maybe
Yeah,
I want to say I don't want to
Lincoln
say
Tech. Was
Lincoln
it
Tech. I
Lincoln
was
Tech?
gonna say
Yeah, yeah.
them. I was like, I don't remember, but yeah.
So what happened? What happened there? Like, they went to school and then the schools shut down?
It just
Schools
shut
shut
down.
down, or
Yeah,
they ended up being a scam school.
yeah,
This that kind of thing.
Dude.
And
yeah.
it's just, and those were the kind of schools too that really preyed on adults that were like, we're just trying to find a way out
Get your
of
degree
fast
fast.
food, or
Or
hey,
learn a
go work on
trade.
a car. Yeah, go work on cars, or hey, go in a trade like tech. So he's basically he's been ramping up to this the whole time. He's been doing loan forgiveness, and also working on basically it's the public service loan forgiveness program, which I guess had a success rate of like 4%. So if something was wrong with it, basically it was broken. So only 4% of the people, or something ridiculous, that applied for this program were approved. And it was not supposed to be that way.
You said only 4%?
Yeah, I think that's about the range. I remember reading like over 90% were denied. And I think the number was like 96% or something.
So there's a ton of people out there with student debt that probably didn't get any help.
Yeah, I mean, or they went into fields with the promise that, so like if you do the public service loan forgiveness, so basically the gist of that is, hey, if you go to school to be a teacher, or if you go and you take your schooling to a nonprofit, or if you
Mhm.
work for maybe the government, I think that's one of the other things. Basically, if you go into some sort of public service and you pay your loans for 10 years, we'll forgive the rest of the loan.
Yeah.
That's basically that's what it is. And
That's
so,
crazy.
but there's so many rules and restrictions behind it that you can never really figure out exactly if you were doing the right thing you needed to do. So, like, you needed to make sure you were working for a correct employee that had like a 401(c). You had to make sure that you were making the right kind of payments.
Mhm.
Just those ticky tack things. And if you messed up on one of them in those 10 years, you were
It's
disqualified.
over.
You're done.
Dude,
And
that's
and so
sad.
they were like, it was never supposed to be this way. Like was not the intention of this. So Biden basically said, hey, look, if you've worked in any of these fields for 10 years, I don't care what kind of payment you made, send us your information and we'll forgive it. And so
So
that's the other thing he's done.
so it's forgiving people that still have that debt, but they're in the
Those
job that they went to school for, but
And
they're
they've done their
still
10 years. Like for
yeah.
instance, my wife, she's been a teacher for 15 years. She's paid her
Okay.
student loans, but for some reason she applied for eligibility, but she was denied. And she's been a special ed teacher for like 15 years. So I'm like, there's no way, you know,
So do
you should
they
be
look at your
denied.
guys' income and deny you because of that?
It's not income based.
It's
Really?
it's 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 it's
If you
stipulation
work
based,
in
right?
a field in which they have said, if you work in this field that we need people to work in for 10 years and you pay for your loan for 10 years, we will forgive the rest of it.
Man.
So that's
I mean,
the gist of it.
and that would just encourage more people to probably go to school.
Well, and that would also encourage people to work in fields. Like, hey, you know what? You're
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
go work in this field till you're mid-30s. And then
Yeah.
we'll pay off the rest of your loans, and then you can go do what you want. That
What
kind of
you want.
thing.
And it
Yeah.
also works for the employer to like I can retain these people
Yeah, for 10 years.
because
Yeah.
I have this holding over them basically.
Right. Yeah, unless the
Yeah.
person moves to another nonprofit or another school. Like if you
Right.
stay within that, you can go work for whoever. It's just as long as they're within those fields.
Right.
So these are
Right.
things that he's done, like, throughout it. Like this it's not like he poof out of nowhere. And so
Yeah. It's something.
basically he decided to go ahead and do the $10,000. He said, okay, if you still owe money, we're going to forgive $10,000. If you at any point in time had to get a Pell Grant, which meant you were underprivileged, and so the
Mhm.
government gave you assistance, we'll give you $20,000 because you're already underprivileged
Right.
with that. And so that's basically the gist of it. 10 for whatever. If you went to school, you owe us money, we'll give you 10. If you're underprivileged, we'll give you 20. And there were a few other things they did in there as well. They changed the there's a way you can pay called the income I think it's called income payment plan or something like that, where they take your income and you only pay like 10% on what you make into your student loan. They basically said if you make 15 or less, you're going to pay us $0.
If you make 15,000 a year or
15,
less.
15 an hour, I
Oh,
should
okay. I
specify.
was gonna say.
If
I
you
was like,
make
hold
15
on.
an hour or less, you're not going to owe us any money. And they changed the cap from 10 to 5%. So now if you do owe or you do make more than 15, you're only going to pay us 5% of your paycheck.
See, so what it sounds like though, this sucks for the people that got talked into going to school
That's right.
to
That's
start
why
a
people
new
are mad.
career.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you rack up all this debt and then you end up not even liking that career. You end up working for whoever,
Yep.
but you still got to pay $100,000. Dude, see, that's it's almost, in a way, it's almost backwards. But then again, I get it. Like you went to school for a specific thing, you stayed in that career, so we're gonna honor you for committing to this job or whatever, right? So we're gonna forgive some of your loans, but I almost feel sorry for the other people that got, because we all get, it's so easy to like have a recruiter talk to you or someone tell you about this great business that they're involved in, and all you need is, whatever, a business degree, so then you enroll in school and then you get pregnant and then you know what I'm saying, then
Life
your life like
happens.
changed. Yeah,
life
life
happens,
happens.
dude.
Yeah, it
Like
just
it is what it is. Life happens, and it's just. I think I think in general, there are so many countries that offer free university, that offer free college, just right out the bat, and it's just kind of like what Kevin and I were alluding to earlier. It's like
Why should
why do we
education?
have to continue to pay so much for just stuff that should, not
that you
cost
can Google.
that you can Google? And it's
Yeah,
like, why
yeah.
Yeah.
does school cost $20,000 a semester now? Like, I don't.
It-
Why are you building a bell tower in the middle of the college? Like,
yeah.
I don't like. These are things I don't like. What does that have to do with education? Like,
Yeah.
just things like that, and that's kind of the thing that we're talking about here, Blake. Is like it's just weird to me, and I think it's a racket, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what I do today, I don't need a degree for.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to where I'm at because of certifications. Like, I did have to school myself,
Yeah.
but I took some $20 courses online.
Yeah. Just to get yeah, just to put
Right.
something on your resume.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just I think in general it's okay to finally see somebody that's not a billionaire get a freaking break.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Yeah.
understand that some people are upset because they're saying, well, we all have to pay it in taxes somehow and this and that. And it's like, dude, you pay for all kinds of shit in taxes already you probably don't want to pay for. Like,
Yeah. At
who
least this is
cares if
helping
you're
people.
giving Susie with 4 kids and $40,000 in student debt, whether it be her fault or not, a little bit of relief.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just be a
Yeah.
human freaking being about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've kind of said that before. Like, it would be nice if we all were just one big community, and
yeah,
we lived off of each other's land. You make the green beans, I make the cucumbers. We share.
like it
we
used to
check
be.
on.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you sow my shit and I'll go hunt a rabbit for you, get you some
Yeah.
food. Like,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I
But
don't know.
then again, I think if we went back in those days, those days still had their issues, right?
Oh,
There's
for sure.
still people killing and robbing and trying to be the big man in the area or
You
whatever.
can
You know,
get
there
away
was
from those guns by running back in the day.
well, maybe.
Yeah.
You mow
Yeah.
down today. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then like as far as the school goes, it's just like, how does any of this change? Like Kevin always alludes to, once the prices go up, they're never going down.
Yeah.
Like we would love to see $3 gas right now. Like we'd be like, oh snap, gas is only $3.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah, right. That because I'm already used to spending $60, $60 to $70 every time I fill up my car. It's just that's just what it is now. You just and then you adapt. But I don't know. Like I also say this. I see people driving by me in brand new cars all the time. So it's like, what percentage is like, hurting or, trying to make ends meet or whatever,
I think
Yeah.
people just get to a point where they just spend it. Back on what Richard's talking about. So a lot of people are upset because, again, too, they're like, so what about the people that paid for it? Do they get something and something like that? I'm starting to see a lot of stuff like that, and then a lot of government officials, like we talked about earlier this week, that took out PPP loans and got forgiveness on that, but
Bro.
does not want the
It's somebody
average
that didn't
person.
need it. It's somebody that's
Yeah.
already a millionaire, and then you
It's
just
so
tell them you got
sickening,
a loan
dude.
forgiven.
So where would
Dude-
you rather want your tax money to go? Because I
Yeah.
mean, somebody has to pay for that, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I feel like politicians are at the point now where they don't even care.
They don't. No.
Like they're making money on stocks and they don't care. Like they're so protected. I actually heard someone talking to
modern day mafia, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
even
it's
like
all of them, dude. It's Democrats
It
and
is.
Republicans, man.
I
There's
know.
actually a Twitter account that follows Nancy Pelosi's stock, and they're like, dude, if you just do what she does, you're gonna be rich because
Yeah.
she has some sort of inside track somewhere.
Oh, they all
She's
do.
making a ton of money.
Yeah, they all do. It's all evil, man. Like I don't know if it's evil, but it's just rich man
evil.
games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It worries me, man. Like because it's just like I don't know. You hear people talk about like Biden's son's laptop,
Oh,
like the
I know.
information there. Yeah, or Hillary Clinton's
Private email
the whole-
stuff.
Yeah, and then the whole Epstein thing, right? And then how the black book never gets revealed because the black book has people's names in it that are in government right now. At least that's what everybody says. You know, it's like
The
all
most
this is
recent,
right.
the Trump Mar-a-Lago stuff now that's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind touching on that too. On the talking about like the files that he took or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I don't know if he was supposed to take those files or not, but I even looked at that as like this is just them trying to tear down Trump
Nah,
again.
it's way more than that at this point in time, dude. Like they're like
Really?
yeah, there's some stuff out there, dude, that's like, you know, and I'm not a super expert on it, but I will say, like, there's some weird coincidences from when he apparently took that stuff and people started dying in the field. Like
What
they
do you
were
mean
saying,
dying? Like what field? I don't even know what they took.
so
And
so they have a timeline of like January 21 is about when he took the docs from, you know, that's when all that started happening
That's this year, 22.
last year.
Okay, cool.
So they're saying from January 21 to October 2021, okay, there was a lot of our field agents, undercover field agents, that got killed, and they're saying it's the most that they've ever seen ever get killed. Guess who had those documents in it at his house, talking about all this?
apparently Trump.
Yes.
But I don't understand how this connects. Like how does this connect to deaths?
The fact that he has the documents, and then there's like he has random meetings and people come to his
Oh,
house all the time, and it's all just information sitting out there.
oh, you're saying he has the documents about these deaths?
No, about where these people are.
Where the people
Oh,
are.
I got you.
Right.
That's weird. But why would
So-
he?
Why
Go
would
ahead.
he? Why would he?
I'm
sell
sorry.
the
What? Yeah,
information?
or yeah. Well, why would he want these?
First
these
tell Blake
papers?
what the information is.
So it's information on where all these undercover people are. So it's like
So
if you tell
all the people that are hiding, yeah.
tell Russia, like, so the whole thing was like, and I'm not a conspiracy, like, and I don't know if this is true. Like, I'm just gonna say this right now. Like, I
Okay.
don't know if it's true, but this is the kind of stuff they're talking about was there, right? And they're talking about nuclear stuff was there. They're talking about some of our on the field agents information and stuff like that. So this guy gets these documents, and all of our people start dying on the field. Meanwhile, he's having meetings with Russians and Saudis, like at Mar-a-Lago, or he's going overseas, or Jared Kushner magically gets $2 billion for no reason while all this is going on.
$2 billion.
Right.
So it's like you have to go.
It's on both sides.
Nobody's saying it
Yeah.
isn't, Blake. Nobody.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not even a part of the conversation.
Right. But I'm just no. I was just thinking like because I've heard the same thing about the other side. I'm just like, man, like it really is just both sides finding ways to get more money or whatever they're doing. You
It's
know.
about your
Right.
team, yeah.
So the issue is that Trump is selling out our soldiers and our agents on the field for money, probably. So that's one of the big things that they're talking about. That's one of the big talking points. Is like he had all this information there, and then today, I guess there's video evidence that when people were there, the FBI agents were there looking for the boxes, his lawyers were moving the boxes around. So like they'd go in a room.
Weren't they trying to flush stuff down the toilets or something like that?
They were trying
That's
to
what I
flush
heard
stuff
too.
down the toilet. Yep, and they were like
Yeah.
moving shit around like it's a Scooby-Doo skit.
I guess I don't understand like what's the urgency for him to keep these files or just because he doesn't want people to know where these undercover agents are, or are these cases on the agents' deaths?
No, these cases are where they are.
Where they're located.
now
So
they're
these
asking
are
the
secret
question.
agents, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
now they're
So-
asking you the question, did this information get out, whether it was because he's stupid or was he selling it?
Or was
I-
it a favor? Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah,
question. And I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
I know
saying
that's
one or the
kinda-
other. And
yeah.
you can say what you want, but either way, it's just like, wow.
I mean, I think it would shock me that he was selling it for money. I mean, they always say that he never
really
even
shock
took.
you, though?
Yeah, because I don't think he needs the money. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even take a check from being a president, according to him. I guess he never even accepted the. So I don't think he needs money. I'm just at the point where I feel like they try to blame everything on Trump.
Dude,
and
this
the
is
left-
this is less blaming. Like, dude, if you have shit like this in your house and you're getting our people killed, this goes beyond finger pointing. This is some
joined.
bad shit, dude.
Ooh, nice. We got new
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess I just don't know enough about it to even,
It goes beyond like, you know.
I just have a hard time always thinking that there's evil behind it. Like Trump is, like
I don't
trying to
know.
call. I just I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude. And that's, I don't know. Like I said, there's not enough information out there yet to know for sure.
I think it's all smoking mirrors too, right? It's all just black smoke
Maybe.
to keep us from really focusing on all the bull crap that's going on in this world.
I don't know.
Hey, you guys didn't tell me you were covering my favorite topic, conspiracy theries.
There you go.
Oh man,
what you got,
come
Jared?
on.
Yeah, what you got, Jared? What's Trump up to, Jared?
Oh, I don't know what Trump's up to. Everything's a conspiracy. There's always something behind everything.
I know.
It never just happens.
That's why I say I don't believe anything anymore.
I know.
That's
Hey, and wasn't it like off top? He was like, "Well, Obama took some records too, but like he took
the
them
whole
differently."
thing. It's like he
It's
took
just the way that
references
that he deflected. I'm like, man,
it's like my
That's what-
kids fighting, like,
Yeah.
because it's not abnormal for presidents to get records like that and
Yeah,
retain them, but like
you can
you're
check
not
things
keeping them all
out.
year, right?
You can check them out of the archives, but but there's still a procedure, and it doesn't mean they're declassified. And you have to have them in such a way that they're not like sitting in the middle of your living room.
Right, just in your man cave chilling.
Yeah, just in your man cave.
Well, and I'm sure
with a bunch of magazines.
Yeah,
But then again, I mean, I'm sure he has them hidden. I'm sure he doesn't just have them out for. But you don't know that. Who knows that?
Dude,
They're trying to find it. They're
Nope.
trying to find them.
Nope.
no,
Nope.
I'm reading
The
it right
FBI
here.
went there and told him to lock it up. Like they
Oh,
went there
really?
and found some
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm reading it right now.
And,
Yeah,
and the thing, and they told him they were surprised when they found. And this was back like in February when they initially found things. They told him, you need, like, if you're gonna keep them, you have to at least lock them up somewhere.
So he's just more or less being careless with some important documentations.
Yeah.
That's really the crime.
No.
Or if it's a crime. No. So
No,
it's
it's more
deeper.
than that. But yeah, that's what we're trying to say. It's not like he just has some piece of papers. Like it's. Yeah,
It's important stuff.
It just goes to show you the depths that political infighting will kind of drop to kind of prove a point and to try to get a leg up on someone for the next election.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I mean, look,
That's how I look at it.
If it comes out he sold information, we're gonna have a different conversation. But for now,
absolutely.
And that's what they're alluding to so far. And this FBI head of director, you know what his conviction rate is?
Hundo?
Huh?
A hundo?
Yep. If he gets evidence on you enough to convict, he's got 100% conviction rate.
Dang.
Yeah, that's what I said. The minute he put this stuff out, is like he's got something and he's just waiting. He's got a bullet in the chamber somewhere.
So what happens? I mean, can Trump get locked up or what?
Yeah, I think yeah. If it's espionage or
I hate politics. I swear I do. But I just look at this as like the left
politics, though, Blake. I mean, that's the whole issue is that people keep saying, could have committed a serious crime. It's not politics. Like people are like politics. Like no,
right? But we also know that like freaking Biden and his son, like we just mentioned, like there's so much shady crap going over there too. Like it's like these like
what
this is supposed to be our government.
I understand that, but like we can't just deflect and say just because Biden's doing this
that's
not
what I'm
wrong.
saying. Like, it's like
both of them are wrong.
Having that
that's my point.
Talking about Biden.
I feel like that's what everybody says though.
Yeah.
Well, and it even gets back to like the Clintons and the island and the cover up for all this stuff. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm tired of all the cover up.
Peddling. Yeah, all the child peddling and oh, you're rich and you can go to this island, you can do whatever you want, and everybody will look the other way. Or if anybody does get in trouble, they'll be offed. The second they're nobody's looking.
Yeah,
I think I'm over it being our lead media source, right? Like I just kind of wish the government would just be smart minds coming together, helping us all, which I think that's probably what it's intended to be. But instead, it's become this soap opera. And kind of what I was going to say earlier, I feel like everyone's just trying to come at Trump for everything he's ever done and going to do because they don't want him to run again. And I don't want him to run again. Regardless of what he did as a president, there was a lot of division. But once again, I think that division came so strongly from the left, and then the whole pandemic, and they, then that became the thing of the election. And they just, honestly, I know he didn't help himself, but they also gave him zero chance because he wasn't supposed to be the president. Our Lord and Savior Hillary Clinton was supposed to be, which I don't know why anyone thinks that would have went any better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't necessarily.
Those Clintons are proven to be evil.
It was that was a bad election for sure. I don't know.
Yeah. And then our last election was not great. We got a guy that's half dead and another guy that's half dead. So
yeah,
it's like, it's like
it's like at the end of the day, do better, because like now I'm just at the point that I don't believe anybody, because it's just a huge deflect. And like I'm coming back full circle of like what we talked about earlier. Is like people are getting mad because somebody's doing something about student loans to cover up their PPP loans that got forgiven. Yeah, everything's a deflect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did this, but this person that we're giving $10,000, you didn't need that $300,000, and you took it.
Is that? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more. It ends up being more work on us for. It
happened. It happened during COVID too, when they were getting assistance from the government.
Yeah, that's what
you're big. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's right. That's what that was called. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I forgot that's what.
Oh no, you're
called.
Fine, man. Yeah, I mean, it's people that didn't need it. Like the Catholic Church got forgiven like $3 billion.
I mean, dude, how about we do a little better investigation of what's going on in Catholic churches? Because it's not a hidden secret. Yeah, churches and it's not a hidden secret what's going on and throughout history in the Catholic Church, but we just brush that shit underneath the rug, and I don't understand why.
I do. You want to know what would solve a lot of? I mean, it would solve everything, but it would solve a lot of problems.
What?
Term limits in Congress.
Yeah.
And have new faces and new people in there with new ideas instead of the same 75% of them, and not all these new people who don't get a chance to do anything because Pelosi and Orrin Hatch and all these
they've been in there for like 50 years,
30 decades. Yeah, exactly.
Money.
It's too much power.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's mafia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've heard this argument too, as far as like even being a president. If you only have 4 years, like it's not a lot of time to really change the country. Just imagine starting. Yeah, like if you started a new job, and then let's say you were only allowed there, you worked there for 4 years, and then they had to bring somebody else in to do your job. Well, it's going to take them years to learn, right? And so I've heard arguments where the presidency should be longer. But I understand also if you've been in Congress for 50 years, you got so much power, and you can be the single person in this world that keeps something from being legal or illegal or whatever, right?
Yeah. And then once I keep doing that with the other, with us four, we keep doing that. We're making money. We're doing it together.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Who cares? We're rich. Who cares? We're rich.
Yeah.
Who's going to the Bahamas with me this weekend?
The whole part of government, though, is it's supposed to be hard to make those changes. Like it's not supposed to be easy, to push things through. Like if that was the case, then I think it might be a problem.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I know we've kind of complained about this before, but it's like, what do you do? Like, can it be changed? Like, there's part of me that says, man, wouldn't it be great? Like if the next presidents are just a bunch of jokers and literally no one votes and says, no, we demand a change. We demand truth. We want to know what's going on. Are there aliens? We'll just start there. and then can I see the black book from Epstein's Island? Give me the truth. Like, I want to know, what happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? Like what's going on with Russia? What's going on with the war? What's going on with China? Like, Just be truthful with us.
Tell me the truth.
But the problem is the little bit that we do know, we know it's corrupt. So what do you think we would do if we got all that knowledge? It would be total chaos and overthrow the government. Revolution 2.0.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You always got to think about too is that there's always it's always been like this, right? Like there's every presidency, there's always issues. There's always stuff we got to adapt to and changes but I guess the question is, has it always been corrupt? And I don't know how it hasn't been. Yeah,
I feel like for a long time it has been. I think you're absolutely correct, and I think it's always been like the stronger. I mean, because you've always heard stories about these groups and these factions and all that. I think really it's just come to light because people are talking about it, and and I hate to bring up the old cliche of the internet. Like people can now call things like this out, so we're just more aware of it. I certainly think I mean, they always talk about how a lot of the presidents or a lot of the politicians were all part of some sort of same club, like in Stanford or Harvard or whatever it is they went. And I think the Bushes were part of that, and the Kennedys and all them. They're saying that these powerful families are all part of the same group and the same club, and I think that's just, and I think it's just more in our face now because we see it online.
Do you think it's like a mafia ran type thing? I mean, do you think there's a power above all this that's kind of controlling our government? Or
it might be. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to hear, is it George Soros or whatever? Is that his name?
I've heard that.
It surprise me to hear somebody like that, or some sort of just a quiet shadow person that's behind some sort of and I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I think it's more like a group.
I think it's like mega corporations and mega money.
It's the same four companies that control everything, right? Procter & Gamble, Nestle. Like there's like 3 or 4 companies that control everything. You may have Coke, Pepsi. You may have Coke and Pepsi, but they're both owned by the same people, right?
Right. In
the end,
too much power in too little hands.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But isn't that how it's always been?
Kind of. I think a little bit. I think it's gotten worse over the years.
It seems that way. Or people
together.
Or people just flaunt their stuff more now. So you see all the power, you see all the stuff they got.
For sure.
All right, I'm out, boys. I'm going back to basketball.
Have fun.
Oh man, a little halftime. Hey, Jared took that. Jared spent halftime with 2 honks and Kevin. That's what's up.
Yeah. Make sure you cross up Bill from accounting.
And he's out. Got him. Oh man. We can kind of change subjects real quick. I'll see if you guys. I don't know if you guys ever watched that documentary I sent out yesterday or the other day.
I got 20-30 minutes in and was just like, couldn't care. I mean, no offense, Blake.
No, it's fine.
I tried and just didn't care. Like I kind of knew the story anyways, and there's just nothing there that really kind of wrapped me.
What were we talking about? I didn't even see that.
So John McAfee documentary on Netflix. Is that what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's for those listening. It's called Running with the Devil. It's about John McAfee, who is the creator of McAfee antivirus, which is pretty well known. I mean, it's kind of a staple of computers. I feel like it's been around forever. Just to kind of say it quickly, basically he ends up selling the business. He moves out of the country. He's living on an island. His neighbor ends up murdered. He flees the country, but when he flees, he hires a videographer and a reporter to come with him because he wants his life documented. He wants the end. He's a egomaniac or whatever you want to call him, but so it takes you on this journey of basically him fleeing, and then it's one of those. It's like the Manti Te'o, however the hell you say his name. It's like his story. There's so many little details to it, and that's how this one is too. But like the ultimate thing, like at the end, it kind of shows them. There's just this clip, like I was watching it and I was just like, This dude, so let me set this up better. There was a clip at the end. He's got his shirt off. He's got like tattoos all over him. He looks rough. He's into drugs. He's into alcohol. Like his life has just become like, just crazy. Like how do you create something, right? That I'm not going to say changes the world, obviously, right? But it's a staple of what we use for our computers
Daily.
as far as maybe,
Once you punch, you either had McAfee or Norton antivirus back in the day.
Yeah. But you are the smarts behind it. You're the Steve Jobs, Elon Musk of antiviruses. And I'm looking at this guy on this boat running for his life, drugged out on alcohol. And it was just one of those moments where I'm like, dude, like how can you be so intelligent and successful, but so stupid and broken and messed up, and it's not even the money. Like we all know that, like it's not the money, but it's like it's beyond the money. Like how did you not get that money and do good or have a family and enjoy it and bless people? It's like it's this I don't know. Part of me wonders if you're not wired a specific way, you may not be able to be the person that creates something.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, every great creator has to be a killer.
Well, most of them are. I mean, not killer, but I mean, a lot of them are very eccentric. I mean, that's what is it? The 27 Club they call it. Like a lot of artists, who all died when they were 27.
Yeah, because of drugs or
suicide or whatever. Yeah.
And in the documentary kind of brings to light how he did want to be famous, well, that's another thing I want to say. The fact that he wanted to bring people along with him to video it, he's already thinking about, I'm going to be a Netflix star. I'm going to have like he was talking about, he goes, I want to have my own show. I want people to see how, crazy my life is and whatever. Right. So it's like, so now I kind of feel like, are we going to be breeding more and more people like this? That's like, hey, if I do something crazy and wild and can build a story, maybe that's how I go out, with the Netflix special, like
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have, what do they call it? Reality?
That's only if you're here to watch it though, right?
Well, but that's kind of to my point, it's like these shootings or whatever. It's like, they don't even care if they see the documentary, right? Themselves, they want to live. They just want to leave a mark, have a crazy story. Yeah. It just, I don't know, man. Like I said, I just don't know. I don't know how someone becomes successful like that. And then just, or maybe it's the success. Maybe it's the success that, it doesn't get them what they're searching for. Right. And it alludes to him having a rough upbringing, watching his dad beat his wife, beat his mom. And, there's, and not to make that sound like it's not a big deal. That's obviously a big deal if he did witness that stuff, but, and that seems to be a common thing, right? It's like
it's very important to your, your upbringing. If you see something like that, then that probably does trigger something in your brain mentally that, does mess you up for the rest of your life. And if you don't have, the right things in place to help yourself or whatever, whether it be through, someone that cares about you or therapy or whatever, it's probably gonna actually twist you around a little bit.
I get it. And I get people being alone, people being abandoned or forgotten about and depressed. And I understand how people can have such a rough life and then make them do crazy stuff, but I don't know, man. Hopefully with the awareness to mental health and whatnot, hopefully that gets better, but I don't know if it does.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they're trying. They opened the National Mental Health Line or whatever. I don't know what the number is, but
you may know later.
I've seen a lot of like podcasts advertise BetterHelp.com. It's like an online where you can talk to a therapist and stuff. So
there's a few of those.
Yeah, it's obviously
so expensive though. Like I looked at
it?
that and I was like, man, that's still a lot of money. Like, you know what I mean?
Something else the government should take care of, right?
Yeah,
they used to.
Really?
they had the house.
And then everybody started having mental health problems, and they're like, nope.
I decided it wasn't worth their
Using mental
money
health
anymore.
as excuse.
Yeah.
Start
wasn't
hearing
worth
that
their
on the
time.
call-in line at jobs. I'm taking a mental health day.
Yeah, for real. For real. Oh man, what a mess. What a mess.
Yeah. I know we took my son to, one after their classmate died.
Yeah.
We took both of our kids to one, and our son went for a little bit longer, and I remember it being $175 a session.
Dang.
It's not cheap.
Dude, that's insane. And of
Well,
course,
we had to
insurance
make-
doesn't cover it.
No.
Some
They'll
insurances
cover
might,
a
right?
few of them. They'll cover a
Yeah,
few sessions.
it's a couple of sessions that
But
they
then after that, you're on your own.
right.
Like,
Anything
Yeah,
after that.
Yeah.
so, but
Man.
now they do one through the school. So, and that one's free.
Well, that's good. At least you got that.
Yeah. So it's not cheap,
Yeah.
So, and that's why people, that's why, I don't know, man. It's like kind of like what you just said. Like, it's just, this is why people are the way they are. Is like the people that can help people, it's like $175 a session.
Yeah.
For you to talk to my kid for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Don't you know I'm coming to you for help?
And then doing
Saying the
maybe
same thing
15
all
minutes
day.
of paperwork. Like, I just, it
It
doesn't surprise
encour-
me this world is not getting better. Like, it just doesn't surprise me because
Right.
everything's hidden behind the love of money.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it discourages you as a parent or a marriage, if you want to go to marriage counseling or whatever, it discourages because it's like, well, dude, paying $175 to talk to someone's going to affect us and make us even more stressed
Yeah,
out.
stressed out because we're trying to pay for this.
Yeah. I'm paying $175 for this, and this is all I get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just sit there and listen to us,
And I don't think
whatever.
it really helped them that much. Like, I don't think it did.
So, well, and you may be right, and I'm not afraid to admit it. My wife and I have had to go to marriage counseling, a couple of times, and I think it's great. I think it's great.
I think a
because-
good marriage, typically, you do see some sort of marriage. Like, and you don't go to
yeah.
marriage counseling just because you're having problems. You go to marriage counseling just because that's what you do. Make sure where you're at.
Yeah.
I think it should be mandatory. Honestly, I think if you want divorce to go down, if government really cared, right? Because divorces destroy families, destroy jobs, destroy incomes, destroy a lot of stuff.
Significant, yeah.
Yep. You should, and it should be free. I would say I wouldn't even mind it being once a year, right? Just
a couple sessions a year.
That's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard to get everyone to buy into that, but it's just if nothing else, like maybe you get, for three free sessions. And if nothing else, you and your spouse can agree, you go there just to talk things out. You and your spouse can be having a disagreement on something, but if you have somebody else there to be like, well, hold on, she's feeling this way because you're coming from this place, and he's feeling this way because you're coming from this place, and this triggers him here, and this triggers her here. Like that's what helps a relationship, because if not, man, we're all just stuck trying to do it ourselves together and try to raise kids and try to get along. And, it's hard, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think kind of what you said earlier was healthcare. Like, it all boils down to, like, people always talk about physical health, but mental health is half the
More
game,
important.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
like literally health,
yes.
period. Right.
Yeah.
Like I literally had that thought today. I was walking outside looking at a trailer, and I got up underneath the trailer, and I was walking in, and I go, I'm just glad I have my health.
Yeah.
I have my health, right? I literally take time to be like, if I'm playing a sport or something, just be like, I'm so glad I'm doing this. Like, I'm so happy I don't have a bum knee. Hey, my ribs still hurt, by the way. This rib injury is not going away.
It takes a long time for any abdominal.
Memories of the mutter.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I can't believe it's like out of all injuries, I had to get the one that lasts for over a month.
Do you guys have a physical therapist on staff or anything
at our job?
Yeah.
You're saying no. I wish.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
I know we have one. He's not like on staff, but he's there, kind of thing. And so, like, if anybody gets hurt, we just book a session with them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No, we don't have those luxuries.
Amenities.
Amenities. There you go.
There you go.
Amenities. So you guys doing?
It might be in your benefit somewhere.
Yeah, maybe so.
Physical therapy.
Yeah.
You guys doing anything this weekend for Labor Day?
Yes.
What you
We're
doing?
going to St. Joseph's up in Michigan.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
what? Just
days at the beach. Yeah, take the kids up Friday, then Saturday, just be there all day. Go to
That's
Lighthouse,
awesome.
go to the beach. Just maybe
have you been before?
No.
We could have you can hit up Landon. He's up there in Michigan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, our number one listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get a text like the next morning. He texts me like the next morning, like something about something, something we've touched on.
If you made it to the end of our podcast, Landon, you deserve a shout out, buddy.
That's right.
It's a good show. It's a good show today.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
But yeah, no, I've never been there before. My wife used to go. She went to Ludington, Michigan, for a few years with her family, and has always talked about wanting to go to Michigan and up, over there in a beach area.
That's nice, man.
So let's go take a weekend since it's Labor Day and just kind of one last hurrah. And
that's awesome, dude. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
We go down to my mother-in-law's every Labor Day and Memorial Day, so it's always camping and fishing, and there's a couple local golf courses, so we're gonna hit up one of those. But yeah, man, I love it. I can't wait.
Nice.
I kept all day today. I kept thinking it was Thursday, and I'm just like, man, it's just making this week even longer.
Yeah,
I took a mental health day for tomorrow, so I got tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. You took one for
Friday
too.
The closest I've been to St. Joe's is South Haven. Looks like it's about 20-30 minutes north, so I haven't been there yet, but it's funny. Like I like Michigan a lot, and it's like right there. So we try to go pretty often. It's cool. It's pretty. It's beautiful.
We've never been, but I hear Michigan is like such a great place, to vacation. So we might try to do that next year.
Yeah, summertime is good. Like winter, I imagine it's just trashed. But
let's go to a ski resort up there. Like
if you're in a skiing, like you're good. But like spring and fall, you're gonna be cold. Most of like the tourist places actually close like after September. So
I bet Michigan's hopping for like 3 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, y'all crazy for living up here.
June, July, August, September. But we've been in the spring and it's cold.
Really?
Yeah, bet, man. Like even like an 80-degree day, like the water is like 63.
Yeah, it's you get that breeze off that water. Ooh, man, dude, there's nothing worse.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, Landon.
Yeah, we're talking about, trying to take our kids on more like experiences and stuff, and just, making sure we get out and go to other states and countries and stuff with them.
That's good, man. Do you guys like to do like little hikes and stuff?
Man, my kids are too little for that. Like my 6-year-old, she'll walk maybe 20 minutes and then she's done. Like,
I get it. Yeah, we've been trying to do that. Like I think Nika's subscribed to like Hiking Indiana or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Just finding little parks. We went down to McCormick's Creek, which we've been there before, but
that was cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I want to do that.
Yeah, there's a little cave there, and some trails, and you find some water.
Man, I'm about to send you a park. The one that we go to, like with the dogs, and it's a good hiking, but like it's on a nice summer day. Like
there's some good state parks out there.
Get out and swim and stuff like that. It's right across from Park Tudor. It's called Merritt Park. I'm gonna send it to you real quick.
Oh, really?
There's some good hiking parks out there where you can do 10-15 miles. You can like stop, and they have like camping sites. You can stop overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's some pretty good spots here in Indy.
I actually thought about getting a park pass this year. I'm gonna do it next year though. It
was like $50 a year.
Yeah.
What does that do for you?
Let's do the any
get in and out to
park.
anyone in Indiana.
Yeah, but how? I mean, do you go enough to justify that? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it like $5 a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just justify me going out more.
It'd make you go. Like, dude, it's free. I don't have to pay the $5, honey.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting into like, bike riding. I think that would be enjoyable, kind of going on some trails. You
Right.
know, as long as it's safe. I ain't trying to
Dude,
get hurt.
bike riding on those trails, like I've seen
Oh,
people
yeah.
do that, and I'm like, man, you're gonna die doing that.
Eagle Creek, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Fort
that's
Bend, yeah,
Yeah.
Fort Bend
Yeah,
is
Eagle-
a good part.
it's a good
They
part.
used to do that. Do they still do that like Ford Fest, where you go? Like we went like a couple times where you actually go. You can do canoeing, you can shoot for free, and all that stuff.
I've never done it.
That'd
I
be dope.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a nice 5-mile trail. I'll walk on every once in a while, but it's also bikers are on there too, and they'll just come flying by, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna. Yeah, I don't know how people do that.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Like I could barely ride a bike on the street. I don't know.
I
how
heard
you're doing
it's good sledding at Fort Bend.
that. There is, yeah.
Rich is like, I hit a speed bump and I'd fall over.
I'm done. I'm not the most graceful person. I won't lie.
Yeah, at least you didn't crack your rib on a half pipe or whatever the heck it was.
Oh yeah, that's when you did it, man. That made me nervous doing that, man. It's like, man, if I fall the wrong way, I'm gonna give myself a concussion. Like,
Dude, yeah.
am I the only one that thinks about like I'm about to hurt myself? Like I'm like, is this
Yeah.
gonna hurt me? I don't.
That whole time we were doing the mutter, I was like, just don't hurt myself. That's why I said when I did the half pipe thing, I was like, dude, I got one in me because this is what I pictured in my head. It's like I'm gonna come down and my elbow is gonna hit the thing,
Something.
and that's gonna like shatter my elbow.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
Yeah. If I go back on my memory, I just remember thinking like, I'm gonna slip. I'm for sure gonna slip when I run up this because I'm all muddy and wet.
And it's all wet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like but what's funny is like I didn't even think about running into the ramp because I just was like, well, I'm for sure gonna grab somebody's hand. But like once I didn't grab the guy's hand, I was like, oh crap, I was so exposed, and
I'm
that's
going,
obviously
I'm
how
going down.
how I
I'm
got
going
hurt.
down.
Yeah, like this isn't good. I didn't think this through at all. So.
At least you weren't that dude where they didn't lower the rope all the way for him, and then he fell.
Oh, that guy's still mad.
Dude, I'm pretty sure you got a concussion, homie.
Yeah, he got up and he wasn't happy.
It's like a UFC fighter just got kicked in the head, like
yeah, like Usman.
It's popping. Yeah, I was kind of like on that too. Like I thought that I would get to the top and like for some reason I was thinking in my head that like I'm gonna have enough grip to just pull myself up and it's like slippery like a cartoon. Like you're like
nope. No strength. No strength.
Yeah. Nope.
So.
Nope.
All right, boys. We'll wrap this one up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
My dog's over here eating black beans.
Yep. We got football starting.
yeah.
There you go, KPZ. I mentioned football.
Not next week, but the week after.
I'm not really that excited about it this year. I don't know why. Like I haven't even I don't know. Sports in general, after the NBA finals were done, I just haven't.
I feel like the NBA wore me out this year.
Maybe what
like
it
I'm
happened.
for real. Like for some reason, it just like
It's just so
just
long.
kind of drained me. Yeah, it drained me.
I think it's great during fantasy, and then after that, I think we all kind of lose interest, and then we wait for
that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Then we wait for the playoffs, and yeah. I mean, I guess I'm excited for football. I mean, it's still fun to watch, but
Yeah, it is.
Should be an interesting year. I mean, we don't know. I don't think there's like any powerhouse.
Nobody's standing out. It's like back to even.
Yep. That's what's great about football, right? It's every year it's a new team.
Everybody has a chance.
It's not the Patriots and Colts again.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, who's the Colts quarterback? Who is it?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Got another washed up has been, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what we do now? We just get all the
Isn't
leftovers?
it crazy though? Like how like luck leaves and your consistency is gone. Like you've been so used to having.
It's just so hard to get a
guys.
good quarterback, man. Like it's not.
And that's the thing, right? Like
it's our team design though too. Like if our defense wasn't